Good morning. On behalf of Jerry Reinsdorf and Rocky Wirtz and all of us at the United Center, Bulls, Blackhawks, we welcome you. This is each year, and I was just speaking with Sharita, how many years has it been? And I think she said the Congressman.
You can say hello. We'll let you say hello right now, Congressman. Say hello.
All right, I'm going to say hello, but then I'm going to come back. The main reason we come to Congress is to vote, and I have a vote on that is taking place right now. I have 8 minutes to get there to vote, and so carry on. Thanks to everybody for coming. Thanks to Sharita Logan for making sure this activity is going on. Even though I'm not there, the action is taking place. Thanks to everybody who helped, all of the volunteers, all of the sponsors, and everybody else. And I'll get a chance to chat with you in a minute.
Okay, Mr. Pizer is right here.
Hey, Congressman, how are you?
Well, thank you again, and thanks to the United Center, to the Reinsdorf family, and all of those who have participated with us over the years and helped make this an eventful event for the young people in our district. We appreciate it and can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You go vote, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Congressman. You can come down.
It is, so it is, how many years with Congressman Davis?
20.
20, and plus we had several years with Congresswoman Collins. So I don't know if it's a little less than 25 years, but it's a long time, and each year I am delighted to welcome these wonderful students, their parents, and above all, certainly their teachers. It is something, the work, just walking around and looking at the artwork, there are some impressively talented people who obviously work really hard, and the teachers care and the parents care. So we are pleased to play our small part in celebrating this wonderful group. And congratulations to all of you. Welcome and enjoy the day. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You all, we had a theme this year, and not only was it Art Without Boundaries, but it was Art Brush Over Bullets. Art Brush Over Bullets, and all the statistics tell us and show us if a child picks up an art brush, he or she can make it, and it decreases crime. So we thank you all for participating in the art program, and again, the art teachers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held as the twilight's glass gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fire, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets gurgling, the bombs bursting in air, gave fruit through the night as our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Did you all see your names on the dais? the names of your schools on the diocese. Just look around. Proviso East, Proviso West, Chicago Lighthouse for the Blind, Ray Graham Technical High School Training Center, Frederick Douglass Academy, Arabi High School, Oak Park and River Forest High School, Whitney Young Magnet School, Collins Academy, Providence St. Nail, John Marshall Metropolitan High, yay, Manny Career Academy, and Munson College Prep. Yeah! Somebody came here hungry today. So now we're going to bring on Miss Dr. Laverta Hurst. She doesn't talk much about herself, but she's an educator. She's one of those old school educators. She wanted to make sure that our children were learning, that they had confidence in themselves, that they knew that he or she could be anything or anybody that they wanted to be. She wanted to make sure that we knew how to read and how to write and how to process information by thinking. She's a leader in her own right. She's very community involved and active in everything that is uplifting our community.
Well, good morning to each and every one of you here. We're so elated that you took the time to participate in this wonderful event that the Congressman gives each year. I am the chairperson of the 7th Congressional District's Education Chair. Congressman is very adamant about education. Even though there are 33 or more task force, he puts a lot of emphasis on how do you value education? How do you value yourself? How does your parents value education? It is such a lovely morning, and I want to congratulate all of you. Even though you may not come in first, second, or third, you are all winners because you took the time to try. You never know what you can do unless you try. And don't let anybody but the good Lord determine your destiny. You can be anything you want to be. All you have to do is want to. And on behalf of the Congressman in his absence, Congressman Davis is one congressperson that I know that does a lot for the constituents of the 7th Congressional District. He does more than any other congressman that I know. If you don't believe it, get on Google and research it. You don't find another congressman doing what Congressman Davis does. Congressman Davis is a man who is very consistent. He's organized. He's no nonsense. He's a gentleman. He's effective and efficient. He's respectful. He is a servant. He serves the people. He is articulate. He's member of the Congress, of the House. He is a devoted, dedicated congressman. He is very articulate. And in Washington, he is known as the king of speech. He's vivacious. He is intelligent, intellectual. And then he is a true servant for the people of the congressional districts. And again, I want to say thank all of you for coming, and congratulations to each and every one of you, especially to the principals who allow the teachers to take time to work with our students in all areas, because we have to teach to the whole child, not part of the child, but the whole child. Thank you, and enjoy yourself the rest of the day. May God bless you.
So take out your cell phone. Everybody got a cell phone, right? Google Ted Ellis, the artist. So when he speaks, we want to make sure you know who you're listening to. And when he talks about your artwork, you want to know who's giving you comments about your great artwork. So Google him right now. Some of you all are going to be getting this book. See that artwork? This is you all. You just haven't created that magazine yet. This is Mr. Ted Ellis, everybody. When I see you all's artwork, this is what I see every year. Greatness. And those of you all who still have an art teacher, treat him or her with all the love that you can, because a lot of schools this year did not have an art teacher. And so therefore they could not participate because they were not comfortable enough to participate. But this is you all. Thank you, Pat.
When you're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find that fighter, I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. We gonna walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up high like the waves, and I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, and I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like crying, I promise we'll bring the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up high like the waves, and I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is love. And for that we got each other. And for that we got each other. And we will rise, oh, we'll rise. Whoa, whoa, we'll rise. And we'll rise up high like the waves, and we'll rise up. And in spite of the ache, we will rise 1,000 times again.
Joy has been singing for us and to us for a very long time. I can't just imagine that she's all grown up now and getting ready to graduate. And so thank you very, very, very much. You know, you can't do anything alone. You got to have some committees and some volunteers and some judges. So I see some of our judges in the room. We'll give them a moment to get settled in. Our own personality, Deborah Crable, you may have heard her on the radio some while back, and she's still there, but we was honored enough to have her to become one of our judges this year. We had some very, very special judges. As you all can look on your program and see, we went out of our way to find some judges because you all's hard work is getting harder and harder and harder to judge. I couldn't judge this year. I could not figure out. I was up last night until 3:30 this morning trying to figure out this artwork. I could not judge. Every piece of artwork spoke to me. No matter if it was level 1 or level 4, every piece spoke to me. And so with that, I want the art teachers to come up and have a word to say. It's important for us to hear from them. And so my art teachers that I have in the room, I think I see 4 of them just right out my view. I won't call you out. I'll let you stand up if you're comfortable enough to come up and just say something to the students. Good. It's important for you all to hear from them. It's important for us to hear from them. There's a reason we do this program year after year, and we give an acknowledgement by certificates to the students, but the art teachers are near and dear to our hearts and to me. I'm working on, I think, 4 major projects, but these art teachers made it easy, and so I want us to hear from them. So I want you to come up, say your name and your school and your comment. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming, and thank you, Ms. Logan, for organizing everything. You're always helpful. Also, Yushan College Prep, my babies over here, they work very hard. And thank you all the art teachers and everybody who helped and make this happen. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys could do it and keep making art. Thank you.
Hi, I'm for Proviso West, Sean Shipley. I'm here with our Panthers in the back. Again, despite materials, buildings, programs, whatever it is, the art is really about the kids. It's what they have inside them. It's not about what we teach you. It's about what you bring out of yourself and put on the paper, on the canvas, in the clay, whatever it is you work with. So all the accolades go to the kids because it's their work, not the teacher's work, not the school's work, it's theirs. So congratulations, artists. It's wonderful.
Hello. I always tell my students to be ready in and out of season, so like in case someone's asking you to just speak randomly. But what I do want to say is that obviously I firmly believe in just process of creating art and what it means, because I do believe that art is a universal language, cross cultures, cross age barriers, cross religion, and it sort of bridges the gap between I guess like our perceptions and our filters and what we go through. So I truly believe in young people and their experiences, how they're valid and they need to be heard, and giving them that opportunity to, and that space and time and instruction, that room to, like, those parameters, right, where they can grow. So it's extremely, I think, important in this time period, in this area specifically, where the voices in our district need to be heard as well because of just the area of Chicago that we're in. So I'm really glad to be at an event that finds it important and honors it and like gives us the space and time to celebrate it. So you can't really, I always say you can't replicate what you don't celebrate. So the things that were done really well this year, we want to celebrate those to replicate them next year. So thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Ms. Potratz, and I am from Al Raby High School. This is our first year here at the competition, and I just want to tell, we're so glad to be part of this. This is a wonderful celebration of all the students' accomplishments, and I just want to tell all the students participating that you have done a fantastic job, and you should feel very proud to have your work here, and I've really enjoyed working with the students and kind of getting to know all of their personalities and being surprised by all the creative ideas that they come up with. And so just congratulations to all the students again, and you should be very proud of your work.
Hi, I'm Katie Kirsch, and I'm the art teacher of Ray Graham Training Center High School, and I am so absolutely over the top proud of my students. I always encourage them to use art not only as a way to express themselves, but as a way, an outlet almost, to overcome challenges. And I do that for myself, and I'm just so proud to be your teacher, all of you wonderful students. And I'm grateful for our administration who still supports the arts during this time. And I'm so grateful for Sharita Logan and Danny K. Davis and this whole opportunity. It's wonderful. Thank you all so much.
All right. So now I think our judges might be a little settled in. I want some of the judges to come up and give the children just some of the thought process that they had as they were judging the artwork in a great way.
Good morning. How y'all feeling? You should be feeling some kind of wonderful, because all this magnificent artwork that you all have created is really making a big mark in terms of the landscape of this city. The city is definitely committed to the arts. You see it all around us, and I look at all of you all and know that your work will be contributing to this landscape in the not too distant future. As a judge, I have to say I have a problem. I am not happy at all, because you all made it so difficult. So difficult. Just extraordinary work that I saw from young people. I was so inspired. I work with artists every day. We have an artist collective, Pigment International, that you were introduced to earlier. Your work meets the standard. Your work was just absolutely astounding. Give yourselves another round of applause. The young lady said, "Rise up." Rise up! Rise up and applaud yourselves for all of the work that you have done and have created. Keep moving forward. Keep doing what you do. You do it extraordinarily well. I am inspired. I am renewed by the promise in you. Thank you.
We have many other sponsors. As you can see on your program, Southwest Airlines, Howard Prizer of the White Sox and the Reinsdorf family, the Shared Aquarium, State Farm, we're waiting on State Farm to get here. The Field Museum, Brookfield Zoo, Rockulocks. Charmin is at the table, and she has these things called Rockulocks. And she was working with me day and night and reached out for Mr. Ted Ellis to get here so that he could speak with you all. And so we want to thank her. She's at that table, so you all say something to her on your way out the door. The Museum of Contemporary Arts.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. I've seen the artwork about a week ago. I just got back from California. It looks like there's even more to the collection. I have my favorites. We'll see if they win. So I helped with this project by putting together the programs and the flyer, and I was so impressed by all of the talent that just kept streaming into the office. And I was like, wow, you know, we have to make this bigger. So I'm hoping next year we'll have the art actually on billboards all throughout the city. So that's something that, you know, we really want to promote this talent in Chicago, and maybe this will be a pilot for, I don't know, other cities. So, right? So that's pretty much all I had to say, but congratulations to everybody who entered, and good luck. Sure. And this lady here, she works tirelessly. I don't know how she how she gets it all in. She's got another major event next week. It's crazy. Thank you.
It's easy to do it when you have great partners and volunteers. Dr. Binion, who is there with us, and she's helping me on that other major project on next week. And so I just want to thank the Lord for her for being one of our volunteers. She's out with Miss Hurd. I don't know how they do it. From here to there and there to here. So now we're going to bring on Miss Patricia Keenan to introduce another person to say a word to us, and then we'll keep rolling on.
Thank you, Sharita. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here. This is, I'm part of Pigment International as well, that produced this magazine on the arts. We work with a collective of 12 artists, and we take them on exhibitions across the city And last year we were very privileged to go for the first time to Art Basel. By show of hands, how many of you have ever heard of Art Basel? Okay, so I see a few hands in the back. I would encourage you to Google that. Basel is one of the largest art events in the world. It originates out of Switzerland. It's held in Hong Kong, and in the United States it's held in Miami. That's the only place it's held. But it's also part of a bigger art exhibition for the whole city of Miami. So literally, in the first week of December every year, the whole city of Miami becomes this huge art gallery. There's art in every neighborhood across the city, be it Haitian, be it Latino, be it African American, be it mainstream art. And this is just a wonderful event. So as we prepared to go to Basel last year, a lot of artists had never been. We met a young man. We were introduced to a young man who was an artist. He's in his 20s. And we had never met him, he had never met us. But when we told him what we planned to do and that we wanted to go to Basel, he told me that he had a bucket list. And on his bucket list was that he was going to go to Art Basel. We had never seen each other, never met him, but we were able to take this young man to Art Basel, and he was able to check something off his bucket list before he ever turned 30 years old. And that's just one piece of it. We came back from Basel to Chicago, and we started kind of looking around for different competitions that our artists might participate in. And we found one that was called the 30 Under 30 Global Art Challenge. So we said, we love what he's doing. We're going to submit a piece of his work. I want to tell you, he was selected as one of 30 under 30 global artists in the world. And he had his work sent to an art gallery in the Chelsea district, which is this really fancy area of New York where they have a lot of art galleries. And his work was exhibited for a full month there. So I want him to come up and tell you a little bit about it. He was telling us last night that when he walked into the gallery in New York to go to the opening reception, they were a little taken aback. They didn't know who he was or what to expect. But he was there with artists from all over the world expressing his vision of what art should look like and how it represents us. So for all of you young people, Blake had a dream, and he is living that dream, and he is making it happen. And I want him to tell you a little bit about himself. His name is Blake Lenore.
And the bass keeps running.
All right, so I did write some notes just now because I'm not too great speaking off the top of my head, just on the spot. But how is everybody doing today? Thank you all for coming, and thank you to all the participants. You guys' work is amazing. I had the privilege of looking at it overnight, and I'm impressed. But just to go to my notes, being not far removed from you guys' age myself, only being 27, and only starting painting literally 2 years ago, I found myself, in this competition with like the greats, the people that you guys learned about in classes, the Da Vinci's, Basquiat's, Terrans, those guys. And I looked at my work and kind of, started to equate myself to them like, well, I should do it like them in order to gain attention. I can tell you right now, until you start to be your own artist, things will come full circle for you. Like, be completely submerged in you. Be involved in you. You guys are beautiful. Your work is beautiful. Submerge yourself into your work, and everything else will follow. Also, when, criticize each other, be helpful, don't be, spiteful, but, when you see somebody who has talent, support them. You see somebody that has, lackluster that you would feel, then help them. Help them get better. We all are unified and can progress together if we, everybody's willing to give a helping hand, willing to lend a hand back. That's all I got for you guys. And keep going. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so now we have our very own Miss Patty from Southwest Airlines. Yay!
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
I love having walk-up music. You don't often get that, so thank you to whoever's DJing and giving me walk-up music. So good morning. I'm so glad to be here. This is all brand new. I'm like, what is this? I love the fact that your schools are all listed on there. So I'm Patty Green with Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has supported the Congressional Art Competitions for many, many years. This is my favorite, not just because I live in the district and because Sharita is awesome, but really because there is such a level of participation. And I always want to congratulate Congressman Davis and his staff for doing such an amazing job and showcasing the talent that all of you have. The artwork is incredible. I want to give my thanks to all the teachers, to the parents, those that are supporting the artists, and I agree wholeheartedly that you should continue doing what you're doing, continue finding inspiration in the world, and to continue to put your art out there for people to see and to feel your heart, to understand what you're bringing to the world. So thank you all so much for what you do. Thank you to Congressman Davis's office and their staff, and Southwest Airlines is just very proud to be able to fly the winner to Washington so they can see their artwork hanging in the Capitol. So thank you.
Thank you, Patty. She always answers the phone no matter what's going on when we call. And so you always want to have a partner that does that. We really value what they do with us as a community partner to help make sure that our children and whoever is traveling with them are taken care of. And so we thank them very, very much. Now moving on with the program, I just saw Larry Williams from, no, Larry's not from Southwest. Larry's from State Farm. Come up to make sure that the winners got the computers. And so Larry, just come and say hello. Larry just came back from a really important trip, but he made his way back so that he could be with us. And so I know the reason you left, and we just want to thank you for taking the time to come and be with us on the day and getting back to Chicago. Larry Williams.
Sharita, thank you. Thank you very much. She's correct. I just lost my best friend. I've known him for over 50 years. Just got off a plane. He was a great guy. He would have loved to have been here. He was an actor too. But on a very great note, welcome and congratulations. I look forward to this event each year. I'm just honored and amazed by the participants and the work. So congratulations and good luck to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. We're glad to have you back home. Yes, we are. He is a solid part. I tell you, we must call him, and not just our office, but everybody is calling him saying, can you help, can you support, can you help, can you support, can you help, can you support? And he always does it with a smile. You know, you don't want somebody to give you something if they're not smiling. He has an open heart, again, to help empower our community and empower our children. And so you all just need to know the biggest thing that you'll walk away with is to know that we love you all, we care about you all, and we care about what happens with and to you all, no matter where you are or what you're doing. The doors are always open for you. I saw Lavette Haynes from West Garfield Council, one of our judges, and Lavette has been with us for a very long time judging. Lavette, can you wave your hand over there, girl? She's over there in that corner. We do thank all of our volunteers. I saw my sister somewhere in the room, and she was been with me every night doing the very small things that we need to do to help make this happen. So, Jaquita, I appreciate you and I thank you. Bertha, who got out early this morning to make sure we got these easels up in there. Larry, who was with me on every project that I work on, Mr. Larry Howard. And then you guys are going to meet my other partner in a minute because he'll be bringing up the awards, him and his group. And so I just want to make sure we thank everybody as we move forward. Now, we are at the part of the program where we're going to bring on our speaker, Mr. Ted Ellis. Ted has been a lot of places and seen a lot of things in his lifetime. His artwork is all over the country. He's had an opportunity to work with our former President Barack Obama and get recognized for his work. And he's still going strong and moving forward. And so at this juncture, we want to bring him up to have a conversation with you all about the impact of your artwork, the impact of your art instructor, the impact of your art mentor, the impact on what you all have on us every day by the work that you all have done and what you're going to be doing in the future. And so if we could bring on Mr. Ted Ellis at this time.
What I want to share with you is my personal journey and passion for my art and my culture. And when you combine that with purpose and you see the outcome of it, what can become of it. I will tell you I am very honored to be here, to be at this podium and hopefully impart some nuggets that will help you in your journey. Years ago, I had an opportunity to come to Chicago and participate in an art show at Gishard Gallery, and you had this fabled individual who had founded the DeSable Museum, Dr. Margaret Burroughs. And she left a exacting speech on me and the artists that were participating. She mentioned and said, what would your legacy be? What is going to be your legacy with your passion and your purpose, your driven purpose? Well, all of my life, I knew I wanted to be an artist. I grew up in a city known for its artistic exuberance. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. I caught the bug very early, like I see the passion and the artwork around this room. And I look at it and I think about, this competition. Who wins and who loses? Well, none of you guys lose in this competition. Life is about a learning experience. It's taking that and shaping that and molding that and pushing you forward toward excellence and leaving your legacy, your importance. What is that you want to do? What is that you want to accomplish with your art? How your art will last longer than your physicality of a person. The message that it says. Blake was talking about being true to yourself, your identity as an artist. That responsibility of sharing what you ingest, what you take in, and being bold and audacious enough to give that back to those out there. We are so much the elements of healing and communicating. We do that not only locally, not only regionally, not only nationally, but international. You guys have a tremendous voice with your art. This little old kid who was about 4 or 5 with a size 13, going to the French Quarters, bugging the artists, asking them about why they paint, what kind of materials. And I think about, 30 plus years later as a professional artist, being appointed as a commissioner through the Department of Interior, commemorating the importance of African American culture from 1619 to 2019. So when Charmin says, Ted, would you come out and speak to our artists, our young artists in high school? And I says, I'm quite busy. I says, I'm involved at the federal level of engagement on the importance of African American history. And people will ask, well, you're an artist? And I say, yes, I'm an artist, but I'm also a culturist, and that I preserve my culture and my heritage. A lot about what we say and what we do is about our identity. Visual literacy is so important. It speaks volumes. So if you're talking to a linguist who probably can speak 4 or 5 languages, when you look at your art, you're speaking universally. You have that ability to speak to a multitude of people at every level of engagement. Right now, after 21 years, I decided to go back to school and get my master's in museum studies so I can intimately understand the importance of cultural identity, shared culture, cultural acuity. That language and conversation is transmuted and demonstrated in visual literacy, art. So typically when you go into a museum, you see these images, these objects, these artifacts that speaks to about a particular culture, speaks about your history and your heritage. That's the power you wield right now. Now, in 2015, I had the opportunity to represent my art and my culture in Washington, D.C. On the Senate side and the House side, it was commemorating and celebrating 150 years of Juneteenth. That's when General Gordon Granger came to Galveston, Texas, with Executive Order Number 3 saying cease and desist, slavery is over with. That was 2 years outside of signing the Emancipation Proclamation. I had the opportunity to represent that part of American history that specifically identifies itself with the African American community to this point forward, to showcase. Now, as a chemist, what you learn in a chemical equation, there's two components. There's A and B, and you look for C. But more often than not, you get a byproduct D. And so when I was up on the hill, at Capitol Hill, there was an exhibition. It was the Congressional Art Exhibition of students throughout the United States. And I just stopped in my tracks. Every day that I had a chance when I went to lunch, I would go and look at all the images of what our students, our potentials, our futures were creating. The images, the messages were profound. And I thought about who created this program to have this level of engagement that was so important. What you don't realize is that there's so much power in art. The level of social commentary, the level of historical importance and significance, the political sway that you have in your art, the academic essay, and being able to draw and write in art is so profound. That's why museum institutions exist, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. It's so that you can have an opportunity to share your voice and your message. So I will challenge you to continue to move forward in your passion to create, to speak with all honesty and sincerity from your heart. Now, my journey as an artist, I'm 56 years of age. I've had opportunity to engage, locally, regionally, nationally, and at an international level. And I said, I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to prepare. I want you to get a quality education. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I want you to drive and work toward excellence. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to own it. You know, my job is to make no's yes. That's it. With unapologetically, to make it happen. That's how I live my life. So when I can go back and say Walt Disney, Merck Pharmaceutical, ExxonMobil, State Farm, the Department of Interior, State Farm, Avon Products, Inc., is because at some point of level of engagement, somebody told me no, but I believed enough in myself and my purpose and my passion that I was going to make it a yes. That's what my futures are going to do. That's what I'm going to be here for. That's why you have these wonderful teachers, to give you that lane, that opportunity to prepare yourself for what it is that you're going to become and to leverage it. What I realized in my journey, and I realized this very early, I didn't understand it, but I grabbed hold of my art. Wasn't the most talented, the most gifted artist, but I loved it, and I had great work ethic, and I pushed through. So when I was tired, I read about art when I couldn't paint about art. I supported my other artists in other disciplines of the arts, whether it was music, whether it was poetry. I knew there was power in that. I knew at some point I was going to be in a position that I was going to be able to help, to have a clear opportunity to show the world how important what it is that we do as artists. We heal our communities. That's why somebody thought about this and constructed a program that was so important, that was so impactful, that they says, you know what, I'm going to make an impression on our futures. You know, when I was in elementary school, we used to have a police officer, Officer Friendly, to come by at Joseph A. Hardin Elementary School, and he says that y'all the future. You guys are going to be the pastors, the teachers, the politicians, the entrepreneurs that are making way for not only for yourself, but for your family and for others. That's your responsibility in the world. My role, as well as the seniors and the elders and the teachers, is to equip you to get ready. Is life easy? No, life is not easy. Life is going to throw you a lot of curveballs. You're going to swing and you're going to miss, but you're going to stay at bat. And at some point, each one of you guys will hit that home run. It takes preparation. It takes courage. It takes commitment. You have to believe in yourself. You have to prepare for the future. Time is short, but time is of the essence. It's time for you to enjoy and continue to enjoy your life. But you will make that difference. I'm speaking that forward, just like your teachers and your parents. They see the value in who you are and what you're doing. I will tell you, I can't honestly give a first place and a second place and a third place. I got to give that to each one of you guys. You guys mean the world to me. I mean, I have 2 little ones now, 2 adults, and I've sowed as much as I could into them so that they can stand on their 2 legs and make an impression on this world, so that this world is a better place for all of us. Shared cultural identity is critically important. As an artist of value and work who has unapologetically pushed the importance of African American culture and history, I've decided to take a different path. It's still that level of engagement, but it's one that will be cooperative and inclusive, that we will have an opportunity to speak to our importance and build a legacy together. I want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to be here. I want you guys to know that I will follow you. I will support you. I will be there at the event in Washington, D.C. Know this, that your art matters, that you guys are extremely important, and you will continue to make a difference. Thank you very much.
All right, I am Christian Strawn. I am a member of the Congressman's Business Advisory Task Force. Everybody, welcome. All right, we're coming to that big moment, so hopefully everyone's going to have their hands together and give some rounds of support to all of you that did and took your time to do some art. You could have been doing so many other things, but instead you chose to bless the world with your skills. So a hand for everybody here for that. Come on. Okay, I want to give a shout out, everyone, to Kathy Horace. She's an assistant public defender with Cook County. She came to see you. She came to see you. We've got one of the judges here, so you can't blame me. You can blame some of the judges that took the time for your artwork. Ms. Lavetta Haynes, who is somebody in the community that's been around art a long time. She's been around children around time. She's been around future leaders for a long time, okay? So she's going to drop a few words, and this is important.
My name is Lavette Haynes. I'm Executive Director of Westside Cultural Arts Council. We're located at the Garfield Park Gold Dome. I'm also a part of the Garfield Park Advisory Council, and that's my commitment to my community. And I would just like to say this is heart to heart and soul to soul, because as an artist of over 40 years, I am a jewelry craftsman, so these are the things I do. And I've come to a point in my 40 years that you will come to that point as well, when you think that you've reached that point of sacrifice. And so I would like to share with you my hand of creation. This is after 40 years of work, and as I judged your work, I see your beginning. And you are the history makers. Your work will be seen years from now by your children, your grandchildren. So know that your participation does not just stop here. You are history makers. And if it becomes murals on the walls in your community, it shows that you contributed to your culture. And I agree with Mr. Ellis. I like to start off with knowing that I'm going to get a yes. So that's a very positive point to be in your life, and for you to have reached down into your soul and put your work on paper, on canvas, on wood, in photos. It is so important. I too help artists, and I nurture them because I know how hard it is. Sometimes you can't afford the materials that you're working with. So I know some of your teachers have contributed to your supplies. So let's give your teachers a round of applause. And I would also like to say that the culture that you're creating, that is the main culture. A lot of subculture kind of things degrade and put down, but your work inspires and uplifts, and that's what makes a culture. So continue with your craft, continue with reaching down in your soul and expressing who you are. Some of you artists I know who are visual artists also have some poetry in you. So just continue on that path and know that you are contributing to history. And so on that note, I would like to say also that I would like for you to listen for the plan. We're working with a lot of young artists on the West Side. Do you know Chance the Rapper? Do you know Taylor Bennett? Taylor Bennett is Chance the Rapper's little brother. Well, my grandson is Zeke Lakai, and he's the guitarist. And he started off in a cultural program at the Gold Dome. So know that as you start, you will reach that level of expectation in yourself. So thank you again, and like I said, remember the plan. P-L-A-N, we got a plan, so let's begin. Peace in the neighborhood, love for the misunderstood, art for the young at heart, nature, thank the creator, peace, love, art and nature, that's the plan. So keep it up. Thank you so much.
Good morning, artists, history makers. I'm so proud of you. Yes, I'm an assistant public defender. Why am I here today? Well, I'm on a day off. I'm not in the courts. I'm on my way to Missouri, in fact, for a oratorical festival for our Greek church, and we do have artwork in there as well. So I was in the Thompson Center one day walking through on a break, and I was amazed at the beautiful artwork. I stopped, I looked at it, I judged it, and I'm so very proud of it. I spoke with the individuals from the organization, and they put in a lot of time and a lot of work because they believe in you. We believe in you, and we need you to continue doing what you're doing so that we can continue with our productive society by showing off this artwork, and we're so very proud. So I wish you all the best. Continue making history, and thank you for taking the time and for everyone who's behind this wonderful, wonderful effort. Thank you, and best always.
So we're going to call off your names, your school, and the place that you placed for this event today. Doesn't mean that you were a winner or a loser. It just meant that those that judged the art gave it some points, and some got more points than the others. Again, it was hard to judge it. So I see Miss Edna Lee, a former warden at the Department of Corrections. Miss Edna, can you stand up? She also took the time to come out and look at your artwork. And so every school will place, every student will receive a certificate and something. No one will walk away without getting something for listening to your art teachers and participating. Mr. Ted Ellis is here on purpose. As you see, a lot of folks can give you a speech, but he's here on purpose. When we finish, you all need to talk to him. You all need to forge that relationship with your art teacher. Then you have Miss Patricia Keenan over there, who coordinated and produced this magazine. Then you have Miss Deborah Crable, who has a lot to give and knows everybody. You all want to develop a relationship with her. Rose, our sponsor. Southwest Airlines. There was a tragedy in one of the other cities. And Southwest Airlines, there was a family that needed to get to another city. And they sponsored that family. I'm trying to remember which which tornado was going on, but they sponsored that family to get there, and it had nothing to do with art or anything else. You all want to know those folks, some of our other judges. So don't just come, get whatever it is you're going to receive. Build the relationship, and as you go on further on in life, you'll find out you will bump into that person, or that person can pick up the phone and make a phone call. Mr. Ellis, I think, was in Texas when we talked to him, so I talked to Sharman. Sharman called somebody, they called him. And the wheel just began to go around and around. So take advantage of these folks that we have in the room to help build upon your life. So I'm going to turn it over to Christian now for this part of the program. Christian Strong, thank you all.
We're going to give a special shout out in the audience and with us here today. We have got a very special person, a stuntman, an actor, a performer, Navi. Navi? He's one of the volunteers. He's a stuntman.
How's everybody doing? Man, I see myself in all of you all. I've always wanted to be an artist. I am an artist. I never thought that I'd be doing the shows that I'm doing, performing on these shows like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. I just got blew up on Chicago Fire on this season. It was very exciting for me. I never knew that getting blown up would be exciting, but it is. The Shy, a lot of shows, many shows from Atlanta to Chicago. I started as an artist, a hip-hop artist. I had a record deal with Sony Music, Epic Records, with an artist known as Lupe Fiasco and a few other artists. I traveled with Jay-Z, DMX, just pretty much everybody in the industry. I'm still tuned into those people or whatnot, but most importantly, I'm bringing resources to my community, and I'm trying to expose the resources to the communities that doesn't know that it even exists. When I go to schools, they don't know that we exist in the stunt community. But we're here. It's a lot of artists like me, performers like me when I think about my community, it's so many people in the community that's like me that can do what I'm doing and what you're doing and what you're looking forward to do. Don't let anything get in the way of what you're trying to do or what you want to do that's in your heart. Don't let anybody speak against it. Don't speak against it yourself. Stand in it. Love yourself. Don't be influenced by the darkness that's taking place in this world. Be the light. You are light. Believe in yourself.
We're going to start things off now. So we'll start with number 13, lucky number 13. So, ladies, gentlemen, if you could put your hands together for Ms. Jamisha Bates from John Marshall. So we're in lucky number 12 now. Eric Jones, Providence St. Bell. All right, Eric Jones. Now up next, gracing the stage at number 11, Sonia Carlisle from Proviso West. All right, at number 10, I'm going to need to hear you on this one. We're in the top 10. We need Tyrese Taylor from the Chicago Lighthouse for the Blind. Next up, we've got from Frederick Douglass High School, Amelia Horton. So next up, we're in the top 8. So at number 8, we're going to call on the stage from Ray Graham. We've got, and I hope I'm getting this right, Azael Rico. Number 7, from Manly, Tashara Curtis. Number 6, it's spelled M-U-C-H-I-N with a K-A-R-E-N, Soto. Is that Munchin? Did I get that right? Karen Soto from Oak Park River Forest. Logan Nijensen. Number 4, coming in from Al Raby, Keyshawn Wright. Next up, From Al Raby again. Tavante White. Loretta Cordia. Okay, for Whitney Young, you are number 2. All right, put your hands together. Everybody, please stand. For your number 1, the winner of this year's Congressional Art Competition is Kaylin Griffin from Proviso East. Now we've got one more artist to announce. This is for the Emerging Artist Award from Collins Academy. Do we have Concretia Hampton?